Hello. So thank you so much for having me. My name is Aliya Chisty. I was born and raised in San Francisco. I grew up in District 11. I was raised by a single mother that worked very hard to make ends meet. So early on in my life, I realized the transformative power of education. And I've been working in education since a very young age through a program called Aim High, where I was a student and then eventually became a teacher in the program. My goal is to make sure that our educational institutions are serving our community and are doing the best job possible to serve our students and our most marginalized populations. I have pursued a master's in education policy from Teachers College, Columbia University, where my thesis focused on the burden of student debt. I was nominated for a Fulbright scholarship to teach in North Macedonia, where I was an ESL teacher and I researched their higher education system. And I've also served as a legislative aide, and I drafted legislation to ban the box on private college applications, making San Francisco the first city in the nation to do so. I currently oversee the Free City College program at the Department of Children, Youth, and Their Families, and so I conduct the fiscal oversight of the $160 million budget for the program. And this experience has taught me that we need to do more for our students. And so I am running to serve our students, serve our teachers. Okay. What? That was 2 minutes. All right. I'll weave my answers in through my
Thanks for that statement. Do we have any questions for Aliya? If not, John Mark has a question. Let me ask a question first. I know that Free City College, great program. Thanks very much for your work with it. Do you see any way that you can expand it so that City College students can get free tuition to transfer to other schools and continue their educations?
Ooh, yes. So Free City, I love the idea of it. And so I think it's a phenomenal idea. It kind of preserves the idea of what community colleges stand for. They're the people's college, they're democracy's college. That's what they're referred to as often. And so it took a fundamental step in breaking a barrier that individuals face when pursuing higher education. Now, tuition is $46 a unit. Free City is a tuition, it makes tuition free. That's a very small portion of the total cost of attendance for students. And so I would love to see more money go into the hands of our students, particularly our low-income students. I would love to see a clear pathway between SFUSD, Free City, and SF State, because that pipeline already exists. We have about 1,000 students from SFUSD that go into City College, and then we have a couple, I think about 700 that transfer to SF State. So I think Free City was a first step. I want to see it expanded. I'd love to see more money go into the hands of our low-income students. I would love to see it include undocumented and homeless students as well.
Okay, thanks very much. John Mark, you had a question as well.
Yeah, I just had a follow-up question about your position. You work for the Department of Youth and Children's Services, right? So is that a full-time position?
Yes.
And is it is that kind of your only responsibility is Free City College, or do you also do other things as well for them?
Yeah, in my job I also research higher education, state laws, federal laws. So it helps me stay up to pulse kind of what's happening with community colleges, with higher education, and so I bring kind of a bird's eye view.
I mean, do you think you can be independent of the mayor as a trustee who also sort of works for a mayoral controlled city department?
Absolutely. There is no conflict of interest. I mean, I know that some of the other trustees that are running their legislative aides, I'm very removed from that. I'm in a department and I see a program. So yes, I see myself being completely independent.
Okay, thank you.
Good, thanks. Barry, did you have a question as well?
Well, I'm enjoying just to talk about Free City, because of course I'm old enough that when I graduated, not only was Pasadena City College free, but Cal State LA was free. And I'm a longtime advocate for, I mean, we ought to have, higher education, all the way, preschool through college. paid
The
for.
best use of your dollars. I think if we talk about it's the best way we can use our money. Sorry.
It is. What is the return on investment for? You've studied this. There's a figure.
There is a figure, and I don't know the number off the top of my head, but
Right.
it's when it's for high school diploma, for every dollar that we put and a student has a high school diploma, the ROI is a certain number. I know the
Right.
paper. I can send the paper.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I just know that it makes sense financially, and it's a matter of changing the political will. That's, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know there's actually been conversations to push free college at the CSU level. So the push for free college was primarily for community colleges. And now we're seeing it kind of move to the CSU level, which is super, super exciting, I think. And
Good.
so we gotta get that momentum and the political will to push that.
A couple of other candidates have spoken of the looming financial crisis that City College is in. In fact, they are continuing to be, and that there is a possibility in a few years that we might lose accreditation again. What is your take on that?
Well, we have to, as a trustee, my job's going to be to fight that at all costs, as much as possible. Yes, there is without a doubt there's a financial issue at the college. And now there's a few ways we can understand this. First, the state has been declining their investment in community college and education over time. Second, after the 2012 accreditation crisis, there was a dip in enrollment, a very significant dip in enrollment. The way the state apportionment works is that it's based on enrollment. And so the college has never recovered from that dip. So there's a few different ways we have to tackle this. We need to grow enrollment at City College of San Francisco. Once you hit 32,000 FTES, you receive baseline funding from the state. Second, we need to grow revenue. We have to do it. And so there's different ballot measures at the city level. We got to make sure schools and communities first passes so we can bring in additional dollars. Third, the internal controls and their fiscal controls have to be tightened. There needs to be a controller. There needs to be a budget analyst. There needs to be accurate projections. The budget has to be presented in a user-friendly way that the public can understand, and they have ample time to review it. So we have to get that right in order to save and protect the college.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much. Thanks very much for joining us this evening, and we'll get along.
Can I ask one more?
Yeah, a quick question.
Well, about the need for more revenue, the voters passed, Prop W, which brings in a lot more revenue than is actually going to the college. And so, how can you advocate to actually get more of that?
Yeah, we do need to fight definitely more money from Prop W. So Prop W was not a dedicated tax. So when we passed it, it wasn't a dedicated tax. So yes, I think that when we do advocacy on the college end, we really need to have a strong plan of like, this is the dollar amount that we need. This is what we plan to do with this dollar amount. And this is how we will be accountable to the dollars, this is the report we are going to produce. And I think as we do that, we can present a stronger case as we make the ask for dollars from city partners, from, at the state level, wherever we're asking. So, yeah.
Okay, thanks for that response. And once again, thanks for joining us, and good luck with your campaign.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
Take
you.
care.